Hey folks, Randy here with Dolan Cut and Trim. So I did a lot of filming at the GIE, and you've pretty much seen all that if you've been following the channel. But I also did a lot of visiting different booths and interacting with reps for the different companies, because like I really want to switch to an actually manufactured equipment holders. You know, like right now, my blower just sits in the back of the truck, and my trimmer racks were actually welded up by my cousin, and they work great. I really appreciate him doing it. But you know, after 5 years of using them, 5 years, you start to notice some issues. Like, they work great, but like there's a security flaw in them, a pretty big security flaw, and but they don't hold the equipment in place. Like, they roll over pretty much. Well, yeah, as soon as you hit a bump, everything spins upside down, and I don't like that. So I went to GIE with the intention of looking at the various trimmer racks and equipment racks to see what I would like to switch to. The two big ones that are out there that everybody likes to talk about is I believe Green Touch and Equipment Defender. And I gotta be honest with you, I looked at Green Touch's racks, and they're nice, but in my opinion, they feel overpriced to me. And I feel like the neon green is just a little obnoxious. I don't like it. I feel like, when I'm on my lawn truck, like, I want you to notice like my sign or my my company logo. But I feel like if I put Green Touch on my truck, I think you would notice my equipment racks. That's not really what I want you to see, So I wanted something, so that I know I could just spray paint it, but I don't want to do that. So I mean, they do have some racks that I was interested in. I really like Green Touch's what do you call it? Sure-Can rack that allows you to use the Sure-Can without taking it out of the rack. I think that's pretty cool, because that's basically, I own one Sure-Can. I'm not the biggest fan of that company, but I own one Sure-Can, and it's purely for my handhelds. And the way I fill it up is I just set it on the side of the truck, hold the handheld underneath, and then I just hit the button and it goes. And so I really like the Sure-Can for that. I would love to just keep it secured in that position. But I mean, even that rack, I think, is like $80. I might get my cousin to make me one. I did look at I looked at Equipment Defender. I believe their stuff was red, which was a lot less obnoxious. But it still was like, honestly, I wish I could remember what my impressions of Equipment Defender were. I didn't spend as much time looking at their stuff. But I mean, the stuff's all fine. It's just, I just don't think it was for me. I looked at another company that I had never heard of, called LockJaw. I actually liked, there's an issue I have with LockJaw, but I liked it. Let's see if I can kind of show you. So this is kind of on their pamphlet, and here's what it looks like when you're using it as a trimmer rack. And the thing I really like about the LockJaw is that it locks around your the actual handle of your trimmer, so you're getting a bit more support. But it also it's like a foam, or like some kind of an insert in there, like a rubber or foam or something, and so it doesn't move. The problem I have, actually, here's a better picture of it being used as a trimmer rack. The problem I had with it was it's either all open or all closed. Now, I mean, your equipment won't fall out, but the issue I have with a lot of these racks, although I don't think this is an issue with Green Touch, is that your equipment's either all your equipment's unlocked or it's all locked up, but there's no in between. And I don't want to have to lock everything up when I walk away. Like, if I want to be able to unlock one trimmer, use it, bring it back, And that's kind of the issue with this stuff. So like, you can see when it's closed, This just latches shut, but when you want to unlock it, everything's unlocked. I believe this rack for a 2 trimmer rack, I believe was 150 bucks. But I don't know, just not sure it was for me. The salesman was also a little pushy. I don't think he wanted to bring it home. But then I actually did get to spend a good amount of time at Jungle Gyms, and I actually liked what I saw there. Jungle Gym, for you guys who may not realize, is this guy. I was very disappointed that there was no one at their booth that looked like this. And so I looked at their trimmer racks. Honestly, not a fan. They kind of have the same issue I have with everybody's, where it's either all locked or it's either all of it's locked or none of it's locked. Not really a fan of that. However, Jungle Gym's got some stuff that I am very, very interested in purchasing next year, because I'm getting a stand-on mower. We're planning on doing quite a significant amount of investing in equipment next year, paying cash, of course. But we're putting in some bids on some HOAs, and if we get those HOAs, we're gonna want to get a one of these trimmer racks for the mower. You know, you guys see it works on a stander, and that's what we'd be needing it for. So we were looking at that, and they're how much is that rack for the mower? It's $100, which is fine. Or I might get my cousin to make that. But the rack that really caught my eye at the show, that I messed around with a lot, is this blower rack. Let's see if I can get. There we go. There we go. Is this blower rack? It's, I believe, $75. But that would make me much more comfortable with my handheld blower, because there is a little bit of a stress. It's a little stressful, you know, not having that secured in the truck. So I'm very interested in purchasing that, or getting my cousin to make one. But honestly, for trimmer racks, after having put my hands on it, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Trailermate Pro. They got a bunch of pictures of it on here. But after putting my hands on this thing, man, I want a Trailermate Pro for my truck. You can put trimmers on. It has racks for 3 trimmers. I would probably only install 2. Actually, probably would only install 2. But then there's also racks for 2 blowers, and then there's that shelf up top, which would be fantastic, because I leave a lot of stuff just kind of sitting in the truck, and I would love to have that rack. I believe this comes in at $300. Let me see. Yeah, $300. And so I always have good intentions, but my intention is to buy the Trailermate Pro. That'll take care of course, I don't know. This might. I still probably going to have an issue with trimmers rolling over. Ugh, man. I'll have to think about that. But I'm pretty close to sold. If I'm going to buy and not get new ones welded, if I'm going to buy, Trailermate Pro is probably the way I'm going to go. And then, but then also the handheld blower rack. I'm really interested in that. You know, it's one of those things, like, you look at it online, and because a lot of these companies, Green Touch is not, this is not the case with them, but a lot of these companies, their websites aren't the best, and so you don't get a good feel for the product that you're looking at. And so being able to put my hands on it at Jungle Gyms and, you know, shake it and see, because, I mean, even the videos Jungle Gym has makes that Trailermate Pro look pretty sketchy. But this was actually a really nice piece of equipment. It's very solid. And I didn't even know that the handheld blower rack existed. And I'm very interested in buying that. Very interested. Like I said, we're planning on making a pretty significant investment in equipment next year. We're going to be getting a stand-on mower, getting new racks for the truck, planning on getting the truck painted, lettered, all that fun stuff. So I thought this was pretty cool and wanted to share it with you guys since I got to put my hands on it at GIE. So this is Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Have a good one.